Hi guys, my name is Shimone Becker and I'm the proud owner of Sales Peach, a Brisbane-based marketing agency focused on one thing and one thing only, generating leads. You're about to learn how to create an irresistible offer and sell more in one workshop, and the best part is, it's free. Not only is an irresistible offer going to help you stand out from the crowd, but it will help you sell what your audience is buying. This is a guaranteed way to increase your sales and grow your business into the empire of your dreams. Say goodbye to wasted marketing campaigns with mixed and generic messages, and hello to campaigns that will capture your audience and have them convinced that you're a mind reader. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. We're going to start off with some quick research. And now before you run for the hills, please know this. Research doesn't have to be difficult. Research doesn't have to be a 200-page study and a dated SWOT analysis that highlights your internal bias. I am going to show you how to do quick and effective research that anyone can understand. And it all starts with asking the right questions. To get started, what I want you to do is write down what you think it is that your clients want and need, and how your product or service is going to solve that. Now, if you're in need of some inspiration, meet John. This is all made up, by the way, but John is a licensed real estate agent in Brisbane, and he's been complaining that business is slow. John believes that his clients want to buy and sell real estate. And as an agent, he meets their needs through offering his market knowledge and negotiation skills. Now, these answers may be genuine, but they're far too general to help John make some money. Why? Well, because these answers are too vague to help him even distinguish his services in the first place. So how do we go about fixing this? Well, we ask more specific questions, and we ask our potential customers instead of making assumptions. Because let's face it, we don't really know what their strongest desires are. And if you are very certain that you do, well then I'm going to need some sugar water. So, what questions would we ask? In John's case, I would ask the following. Question 1. Are you a homeowner, renting, or looking to buy? Now, this is a qualifying question. Next question is, have you purchased a home or sold a home in the past? If so, how would you describe your experience? Was there any room for improvement? This is what we call an open-ended question, so it's great for feedback. Then we have, what does owning a home mean to you? That's going to give you an idea of what their goals are. Then lastly, when you think about purchasing your next home, what are the main things that you take into account when making the decision? Now, this is going to help you with the buyer journey. But it's not over yet. We have a couple of questions at the end of our questionnaire or quiz, and what we're basically trying to figure out here is these are 2 multiple choice questions, and it's just helping us really refine our offer. So if we look at question 1, for example, imagine you had to sell the home that you are in today. Which agent would you be more likely to trust with the sale of your home? A top selling agent with high commission rates that has a team to conduct open homes and deal with your prospective clients. Or B, a community-focused agent that has an average sales record and low commission rates. So what you can see there is you've got a high-performing agent. His delivery is a little bit more impersonal because that's how, he achieves those results. And then for B, you've got a more personal service and a somewhat average performance. And with question 2, selling a home can be expensive with marketing costs, staging, and commissions. What would you rather? C. Agree on an average commission of 2.5%, which is just a little bit, I think, below. I think in Brisbane it's 2.75, if I'm not mistaken. And pay for the minimum marketing costs upfront and hope your property can sell without the fancy bells and whistles. So this is what most people would opt for, is the minimum. Or alternatively, D, agree on a high commission rate of 4% and have your agent cover the full marketing package that will increase your chances of selling. P.S. You will have to cover the marketing costs if you withdraw from your agreement. Now, that also seems like a really simple question, but it's really not, because you're saying here, would you rather go for the minimum package and pay it all up front, and you know that it's not the best of the best, or would you rather switch positions with your agent and have them take all the risk? And with D, that's entirely possible. Your agent is sticking out his or her neck and saying, listen, I'm going to pay the full marketing cost. However, you're going to have to pay me back when I sell your home with a higher commission rate. Because John in this case is not going to get his commission if he doesn't sell your home. But there is a catch, and there is full on transparency in this case, because if you wish to terminate the agreement, you're going to have to pay John back, which is reasonable. So with option D, you can sell your home really quick because you've got the full marketing package. However, there is a little bit of risk involved for both parties. But with option C, the risk doesn't seem that high, but it still is really high, because you're sacrificing a small commission. However, you are going to be paying for the minimum marketing costs that aren't really guaranteed to really help you convert, and you know that you haven't opted for the high tier package. So this is really going to help us gauge where your potential clients are at. Ta-da! You now have the key to secure the wants and the needs of your clients, and you have the ability to create an offer they can't resist. That's pretty cool by my standards. And as far as I'm concerned, you now have the power to dominate in whatever field you're in. At last, it's time to create the survey or questionnaire, I think I called it earlier. You can do one up in Google Forms if you're going to do this online, or just create a document if you prefer to do this in person. If you're opting for the online survey, what you can do is run an ad to your local community area, or if you don't want to spend money, then you can put your networking skills to use and share it on a local community group, whatever works for you. How do we get people to fill it out? Well, provide an incentive they'll appreciate. Free coffee voucher or competition will do. The only thing I will advise is that you have to ensure that you're coming across as authentic. There's a time and a place to be a salesman, and this is not it. Practice by finding common ground. Introduce yourself as a neighbor and someone who genuinely cares about the community. Once you have all the data, all you have to do is tally up the results and find a pattern. I would also like for you to compare your answer that you wrote down earlier to the results to see how close you came to predicting the desires of your potential clients. If you were spot on, well, then I have some questions. Also, if you followed my example from John's questions, then there was a question to help qualify the leads, and a few others that would have helped placing them into John's pipeline. Don't forget to add these qualified leads to your database. I'm sure you could land a few, if not all of those leads. If you're still here, congratulations. You're halfway to completing your degree in marketing, minus the student debt, of course. Obviously, I'm just kidding, but I am trying to give you an authentic experience with my very lame slideshows and memes. I hope that you're thoroughly enjoying that. Okay, now what is a refined marketing statement? A refined marketing statement is basically the beating heart of your marketing. It's the blueprint, the rule book. You need to make sure that everything you do aligns with this statement. Your RMS must fill a desire, be distinctive, and target a specific audience. First thing we have to do is write down who your audience is. Who do you want to target with your product or service? In John's case, it's going to be homeowners in Brisbane. You could be more specific and even target investors for a better result, but we're going to keep it simple for this example. Secondly, what is their desire? This is where your research will come in handy. Let's look at John's questions again and answer them to give you an example. Looking at the responses, we can see that for question 1, the respondent is a homeowner. Question 2, they would have preferred to sell for a higher price in less days. And question 3, with their goals, they want to rent their property out and make a passive income, so they're investors. And then finally, with the buyer journey, they mentioned again that they want an investment property, one with 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2 car, and a yard. And finally, with our 2 multiple choice questions, we can see that they want a community-focused agent that has an average sales record and low commission rates. However, they are happy to pay a higher commission rate in exchange for a full marketing package that increases their chances of selling. And that aligns with the previous slide that mentioned that they wanted to sell for a higher price in less days. Now, what John can do is he can create a profile based on the answers. He's basically going to be drawing a conclusion. He now knows the following. He knows that I'm a potential client and I am a homeowner. John can add me to his database and he can add in all the other helpful answers that I provided. He knows that previously I wanted to sell for more than my agent could get me, and I obviously needed better marketing as there was an element of urgency and it took longer than expected. Or, perhaps I just had unrealistic expectations like most sellers do. But in terms of my next house, I do need a rental property. He knows that I'm an investor. He also knows that I value a personalized experience, so much so that I'm willing to list with a mediocre agent before I hand over my keys to the agent who checked himself out 4 times before he even made it to my door. And lastly, John also knows that I would rather pay a bigger commission and have my property marketed right than fork out the money that I don't have for a campaign that's, not going to convert. Alrighty, so now we're going to circle back to our original question for the refined marketing statement. The question is, what is their desire? And in John's case, it's to find a committed agent who's going to sell their home in a reasonable amount of time for the best price possible. Let's workshop that a little for more specific answers. Well, we know that they want to make a profit on the sale of their home. And they want to make that profit as soon as possible through a trustworthy agent, someone who they believe will work hard for them. Lastly, how is your product or service an improvement from the original? You can also use the feedback for your research on this one. And for John, this would be easy. His real estate services are results focused. Remember, he can generate results through an extensive marketing campaign as he will be paid back in commission, all whilst having that personal touch. To finish, we're going to string this all together. Your refined marketing statement should be something like this. I help audience achieve desire through new and improved way. For John, I'll help Brisbane homeowners achieve a profit on the sale of their home in less time through paid for strategic marketing. This is one of the most important slides in this whole workshop, so I would really write that down. If you were selling a product, such as work shoes, I would use this as an example. I help construction workers achieve peace of mind and comfort. Remember, the design must be sourced from research. Through creating steel cap boots that provide ankle support and have specialized soles. It is finally time to create that offer that we have been talking about. And just like the refined marketing statement, you will be using the feedback from your research to create an offer. You can think of it as a funnel. The offer is the end result of the answers your audience provided. What you're going to do with this offer is address all of its pain points that your research group revealed in one simple campaign. You're going to want to sell them on the new and improved way, then on your offer. What I want you to do is write up a copy for an ad. It could be for a Facebook ad, but it needs to have a few key elements. You need to inject some personality, state your difference, solve their pain points, but keep it short. Make sure that you address any skepticism. Trust me on this one, it really does help with converting some leads. And if you can, add something of value, preferably digital. And lastly, a sense of urgency never hurts. Here's what I came up with for John. Now, quick disclaimer, you're very welcome to use this as an inspiration or a blueprint, but please refrain from using this word for word. Don't copy it into, your next ad campaign or anything, because if I see this on my newsfeed, then I can guarantee that you're going to get an invoice from me, and it's not going to be cheap. So, yeah. You're welcome. Meet John, your local real estate agent. John is so confident that he can sell your home that he has decided to put his money where his mouth is. Say goodbye to upfront marketing fees and hello to your new home. Although costly, John understands that not everyone has a spare $1,000 lying around to pay for the latest marketing tactics that will get the home sold at the drop of a hat. So, what's the catch? You'll pay a 4% commission upon the sale of your home or reimburse John should you wish to withdraw from the agreement. That's it, no hidden agenda. If you are serious about selling your home for the best price, get in touch with John today before the selling season ends. If you want to see what's included in John's marketing plan, click here for a free copy. Now, it is a long copy, I must admit, and I'll probably workshop it a bit more to include less, but you get the idea. It has all the elements of a successful offer. You can run this out on Facebook with a simple graphic, but remember, try not to make it look like an ad. Rather opt for a more personal image to keep the personal touch. Being personal and trustworthy is what it's all about these days. Wow. This workshop really is covering it all, isn't it? You know what? I should charge for this, but I'm not. Because helping businesses succeed is my business. Yep, and I know how cheesy that sounds, but I really do hope that you follow these steps and complete the workshop because I'm stoked to see what results you're going to get. Now, the next section, it's all about selling, and it's going to be very, very short, but I want to ensure that we both leave this workshop on a high note. Can you tell me what the difference is between these two dealerships? We've got the brand new, state-of-the-art Mercedes-Benz dealership in Brisbane at the top. Lovely place. And then we've got Motorama. That's an old picture. It's a small dealership and they sell pre-owned vehicles. What I want you to do is I want you to think about their approach to sales and how their approach to sales may be different. going to give you a second to think about it before we move on to the next slide. Okay, time's up. We're burning daylight, guys. Welcome to the world of transactional and transformational sales. This is going to help you price your product or service. After all, it doesn't help you create this brilliant offer and then fall short when it comes to the value of what you're selling. This is important stuff, man. Transactional sales. Transactional sales suck. I have been a victim of transactional sales. It ruined me and is making life a living hell for so many of you out there. So what is this transactional sale that I speak of? They're typically when your client questions the value of your product or service. When they question the value, they question the price. And that's going to open the door negotiations, not the good kind. When I just started out, I know that I spent a ridiculous amount of time tracking down potential clients, writing up proposals, and then finally pitching them. And you know what? Every client that I landed felt like this huge win. But those wins were very often short-lived. You want to know why? Because they were low-quality clients. I didn't qualify them. They didn't see the value, so I had to come down my prices. And my offer was confusing. I was trying to do too much. This also made my marketing a hell of a lot less effective. So, if you are trying to sell the value of your product or service time and time again, and you know that your marketing isn't performing the way it should be, then you've got a serious case of transactional sales on your hands. So how do we go about preventing this? Simple. You embrace the world of transformational sales. See, unlike transactional sales, transformational sales involve targeting those who actually care about the desires you're selling. You'll be selling to qualified leads who care about the results rather than the price tag. Here's how we start making transformational sales. You're going to start off by using effective marketing. So using the offer that we developed. You're going to create pipelines of some sort to ensure that your leads are qualified and ready to go. Now I'll get into this another time. You're going to sell the results rather than the product. And lastly, show, don't tell. Show them why they need your product or service and back it up with evidence if you can. So to conclude, people care about results. Base your price on what value it can bring to their life. Alrighty guys, I've walked you through the steps of creating an irresistible offer and how to sell more of your offer. I've given you examples and shared some of my personal challenges. Creating this workshop took a lot of energy and time, but I wanted to show you how you can improve the way you do business in just a few minutes. I've made this workshop free and accessible to everyone, and I will be offering a free consultation that is subject to application. Thank you very much for attending this workshop, and I would love to hear from you should you have any feedback or questions. Thank you. Bye.